The Worst Neighborhoods in New Orleans, 2022.
93 murders have taken place in New Orleans between the beginning of 2022 through the month of April. 243 murders have also occurred over the past 12 months. Asher says that the city likely had the highest murder rates in the nation.
The people that were committing armed robberies didn't have their usual prey available because people weren't on foot. So they shifted to cars.
He says homicides are also up, with 77 so far this year. That's a 51% increase since last year. But those numbers have been climbing since 2019, when New Orleans saw the lowest murder total in nearly 50 years.
Sean Ferguson gave an update on the crime here in New Orleans, and the numbers show there's been little to no improvement. Many say it has a lot to do with burnout and low morale in the NOPD.
24 people shot in just 4 days. And yes, you heard that correctly, 24. And that is just in the city of New Orleans. 7 people total dead, and 4 of those deaths were in Algiers over the weekend. Now, last night during the show, we talked a little bit about our crime issue.
Today we are going to take a look at the city of New Orleans, which has a history of violence and crime. The crime rates are higher than the average in Louisiana. There are many reasons for this, but it is clear that the high levels of poverty play a major role. It is not just about poverty, it is about race as well. The city of New Orleans has always been known for its racial divide and the way that it has affected the population. The economy is also a contributing factor to crime rates in New Orleans. There are many jobs available, but not enough people to fill them, which leads to high unemployment rates and poverty levels. This leaves many people without hope for their future and looking for ways to make money illegally. Hines Village, New Orleans.
So I just spoke with the New Orleans Police Department. They say that around 10 a.m. they got a call about a man being shot multiple times. They found him dead right here on the scene. They say they have no suspects at this hour.
The NOPD is investigating the shooting of a woman near the Lakefront Airport tonight.
Police got the call of shots fired around 6:40 this evening. This happened in the 5900 block of Babylon Street. The woman was taken to the hospital at this hour. Her condition is unknown.
We have Pines Village, which is a small community in New Orleans. It has been plagued by crime for years. The police have been unable to stop the crime wave that has plagued the community. The residents of Pines Village are tired of living in fear and want to see change. They have decided to take matters into their own hands by trying to combat the crime problem. St. Claude, New Orleans.
New Orleans police are trying to find the suspect behind a murder. This was in the St. Claude neighborhood. It happened just before 9:30 last night near the intersection of Gallier Street and North Robertson. Officers responded to calls of a shooting and found the victim, an unidentified man lying next to a four-wheeler. That victim did die on the scene.
Are investigating a double shooting in the St. Claude neighborhood. Around 3:30 this afternoon is when everything went down. Cops say someone shot at a man on France and North Villeray streets, hitting him in the foot. We're told he was taken to an area hospital, and just moments ago, police told us a second victim, a woman, showed up at the hospital as well.
And new tonight, New Orleans police responded to a deadly shooting in the St. Claude neighborhood. It happened just before 7:30 on France Street near Urquhart. A man was found lying in the road, shot multiple times. He was pronounced dead right there. Police did not release any other information about it, though.
Homicide in the St. Claude neighborhood. It happened this morning in the 1600 block of France Street. Officers say they found a man dead after being shot inside a home. Cops say at this time there's no motive and nobody has been arrested.
St. Claude has a population of more than 6,500 people. This neighborhood is plagued with shootings, rapes, and many other crimes that surfaces this area. St. Claude has a 99% rate of more crime than New Orleans itself. More than 2,500 crimes happen in St. Claude for every 100,000 on the surface. There are around 10 times the national average records of assaults in this region. Tulane Gravier, New Orleans.
New Orleans police responded to an early morning shooting in the Tulane Gravier neighborhood. A 33-year-old man was found shot to death at the intersection of South Broad Avenue and Gravier Street just after midnight. His identification has not yet been released pending notification of his family.
Initial reports report that 2 people have died. We got here, we saw at least 1 body on the ground. Police are still investigating it. Initially, we heard that there were 5 victims. 2 of them have died and succumbed to their injuries. But again, everything very fluid right now. We're still waiting to hear from information from the public information officer with NOPD. But again,
the New Orleans Police Department on the search for the suspect involved in a double shooting. The person responsible for killing both a man and a woman. This happened near the intersection of Perdido and South Durgeois Streets last night, shortly after 9 o'clock. Officers found the 2 victims suffering from gunshot wounds lying in the streets. Once they arrived on scene, both people were pronounced dead at that time.
The Tulane Gravier, New Orleans neighborhood is one of the most dangerous in the United States. It is located on the border of New Orleans and neighboring Algiers, Louisiana. The neighborhood has been plagued by crime and violence for decades, with a high number of murders per capita. The area also has a high number of shootings and robberies per capita, as well as an unemployment rate that is nearly twice as high as the national average. The neighborhood was originally developed as an industrial area, but it became more residential after Hurricane Katrina hit New Orleans in 2005. Central City, New Orleans.
New Orleans Police Department investigating a double shooting from Central City. This happened shortly after 7 o'clock last night near the intersection of South Durgeois and Earhart Boulevard. Police say a man and woman were both shot and then taken to an area hospital for
firing. Bullets came through here and went through my wall.
There's a hole there, a hole here, holes behind the sofa. It sounded like a war zone. A war zone, high-powered machine guns on 7th and Saratoga in this city.
Carolina Gallup has 2 bullet holes in front of her home, 3 in her SUV, and at least 2 holes in her metal fence.
Right now, 1 person's in custody in connection with a murder in Central City. New Orleans police say a man was shot and killed in the 1200 block of Reverend John Raphael Way earlier this morning. They say the suspect tried running away, but they were able to arrest him on Magnolia Street.
After one of the city's most high-profile murders, federal investigators say police arrested the wrong guy. Michael Anderson was accused of shooting 5 teens in Central City back in 2006, but federal prosecutors say he was not the one responsible.
And instead, they're pointing the finger at Telly Hankton, a man who's been called the crime boss of New Orleans.
The Central City neighborhood of New Orleans is one of the most dangerous places in America. The crime rate is high, and there are many abandoned buildings that have been left to rot. The Central City of New Orleans is so dangerous because it has been neglected for decades and people have moved out to other parts of the country. St. Roch, New Orleans.
Police also investigating a separate shooting that took place just hours earlier. NOPD says this incident happened in the St. Roch area around 5:15 yesterday evening. They say a man had been shot near St. Roch in North Miro. He's now in the hospital. No word on his condition as of this morning.
It's a crime scene that stretches 3 blocks along St. Roch Avenue in the St. Roch neighborhood of New Orleans. A triple shooting, leaving 1 man dead and 2 others injured. It happened late Wednesday afternoon when police were called to a shooting. That's when they found 2 men shot near the intersection of St. Roch and Peace Court. A block over, 1 man was dead on North Rocheblave. Neighbors and family members we spoke with did not want to go on camera, but say 2 of the men were cousins.
Charles Williams is accused of 6 separate shooting incidents, killing 1 person, and he's accused of 2 armed carjackings and 2 armed robberies back in April.
Continue to follow breaking news of a triple shooting in New Orleans East. The NOPD reports that 3 people were shot this morning on Elysian Fields near the I-610. Now, the Eyewitness News is on the scene right now. This is a live look there where you can see the investigation appears to be centered in the parking lot of a Burger King there in the area.
St. Roch has been called the most dangerous neighborhood in America. The neighborhood has a high crime rate and the number of murders that have occurred there are staggering. St. Roch was built on top of an old cemetery, which means that it's full of ghosts and spirits. Desire, New Orleans.
PD investigations continue. Multiple investigations after 4 different people were shot, all in the Desire neighborhood in less than 24 hours. The most recent incident, a triple shooting. It happened last night on Morris Duncan Drive. 3 victims in all, 2 women and 1 man were all injured.
Police are investigating reports of an officer-involved shooting in the Desire neighborhood in the 9th Ward. All of this unfolding just about within the last half hour or so. Now, the incident has happened near the intersection of Alvar and Higgins. Again, that's in the Desire area.
And more breaking news tonight just after 9. 2 people were shot in the 3400 block of Louisa Street. One of the victims has died. Right now, very little other information has been released, but police were focused on a vehicle on the street. This latest shooting in the Desire neighborhood brings the number of people shot across New Orleans to 14 since yesterday evening.
The New Orleans Police Department reported that a woman was fatally shot sometime before 10:30 p.m. Wednesday night in the 3600 block of Metropolitan Street in the Desire neighborhood. This morning, yellow tape was still visible around the area, and neighbors declined to be interviewed, but said that the woman had lived in the rear section of this double home for about a year.
This Desire neighborhood in New Orleans has been plagued for many years. The reasons for this are many and complex, but one of the most important factors is the lack of jobs. This neighborhood has been struggling to find ways to create jobs and provide opportunities for its residents. Crime is a major issue in New Orleans. The city has the highest murder rate in the country, and it is also one of the most dangerous cities in America. There are many factors that contribute to this problem, but there are some solutions that can help fix this issue. One main solution is to allocate funds to fix up the crime and neighborhoods mentioned in this video. Thanks for watching. For more content, like and subscribe to our channel.